predictions can be fatal at the same time. Yes, the scope of machine learning algorithms is increasing in predicting various diseases, and machine learning algorithms are often used to for cardio disease prediction systems. And when doctors fail to make accurate decisions while examining a patient's disease prediction system that use machine learning algorithms can help. Thus, the problem of medical diagnosis can be solved with the help of the classification problem. And one of the most popular classification algorithms is random forest. It is one of the most used algorithms due to its accuracy, simplicity, flexibility, and so on. So it is used to create a classifier model that can predict disease with higher rates and accuracy. So random forest is an ensemble machine learning method based on decision trees that involves creating multiple trees and then combining their results to improve model. Yes. Decision trees are the such building blocks of random forest algorithms, and decision trees are a decision-making tool that uses tree-like graph or decision model and their possible consequences. So decision trees seek to find the best distribution for a subset of data, and they are usually learned using a classification tree algorithm. And the theory that is that a large number of uncorrelated trees will create more accurate predictions than one individual decision tree. This is because the volume of trees work together to protect each other from individual errors and overfitting. For the practical part of the research, it was decided to investigate a data set that contains data about patients and whether they have been diagnosed with cardiovascular disease, so that the problem of classification will be solved. This data set consists of 70,000 patient records, which include age, height, weight, gender, blood pressure, cholesterol, blood glucose, whether the patient smokes, whether the patient drinks alcohol, whether the patient is physically active. And before training random forest model, we did pre-processing, which had included removing duplicate rows, finding possible omissions and removing them, and applying hot encoding to columns horizontal and GLAG. On this slide, you can see two figures. The first one shows the number of patients who were diagnosed, yellow column, and were not diagnosed, green column, cardiovascular disease relative to their age in years. As a result, the ratio of patients to healthy patients increases with age. The second one is about linear relationships between variables. So there is no direct linear relationship between variables. However, it can be noted that the highest value of correlation relative to the target variable cardio have indicators that corresponds to blood pressure, up high, as you see, and up low. The next slide. Before training, the data set needs to be divided into a train set and test set, and the ratio of 80% train and 20% test. The random forest classifier class from the scikit-learn library was chosen to train the random forest model. And in order to improve the accuracy of the model, the search for optimal grid search hyperparameters was used. It sorts the combinations from the given hyperparameters and chooses the best combination. On this slide, you can see the number of true and false predictions of the classifier. For this, the error matrices for the train and test sets accordingly are shown. As a result, the relative distribution of errors has been preserved from the train to test sets, and therefore the model is well generated. And the model makes fewer false negative errors when correct prediction is 1, and the model gives 0. False negative errors, it is when the algorithm didn't recognize the disease and recognize the sick person healthy. Obviously, that ideally we aim for the classification algorithm is to give 0 errors of the false positive and false negative classes. But in real life, it is rare, but each model should minimize the number of errors. Since the problem of binary classification has been solving, the most objective metric is ROC-AUC, area under the error curve. The ROC curve provides detailed information about the behavior of the classifier, and the curve is the result of the true positive rate and false positive rate depending on the threshold. As a result, the metric values are similar on the training and test datasets, so the model is well generated. To summarize, it should be said that the goal of the study has successfully been achieved, namely with the help of one of the most popular methods, method of random forest, to predict the presence of cardiovascular disease in people with different health conditions. So the accuracy of predictions is 80%. The same operations were performed for another ensemble algorithm and gradient boosting. When using this algorithm, the correct predictions were 73%. The AUC metric for the test data showed a high prediction score of 0.79. So classifier works quite well. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Well, the participants, and now your questions.
So I would like to ask, maybe it's not a question, but rather a curiosity. So you mentioned that you use the patient's database, yeah? So can you explain in detail what kind of database did you use and how you get the access to it? Yeah, because I think it was not easy, or maybe I am mistaken.
I used a public dataset, CSV. It is in public, it has public access, so you can find it in the internet.
I see, thank you. Because I thought that you managed somehow to get the access to some medical institutions, because I'm sure that they have, but it is not easy to do so. Thank you.
It is not easy, yes, but I think it would be much better to have real data from patients.
Yes. Yeah, you are right.
Okay, any other questions? And I have, again, so the curiosity. Is the research based on a kind of questionnaire, so the verbal answers, well, and how it is related, well, to some linguistic or verbal data?
Could you?
Well, I mean, what is, so again, the ground for the research? Well, it's a kind of a questionnaire, so the questions asked or put well for people, well, to answer, well, as the basis, well, as the linguistic basis of this algorithm.
To tell the truth, I didn't catch this question.
Well, I mean, you process a kind of questionnaires. Well, make the predictions. Well, patients questionnaires or
predictions were made on the data on the data set that I used for the research, and I think so in the future it will be a great improvement to use real data from patients. And maybe it can be related to a real hospital in Ukraine, in Lviv especially. This research or this model can be quite useful in hospitals to help doctors make correct predictions. Yes, because humans also can make mistakes, but such systems can really be helpful.
Okay, thank you. Well, then we can proceed and invite Taras Basyuk and Andrii Vasyliuk. The presentation, design and construction of popularizing internet resources system using external ranking factors.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Good idea, colleagues. The topic of my report is this design and construction of a popularizing internet resource system using external ranking factors. The popularization of internet resources appeared along with emergence and rapid development of search engines and consists in a complex of work with external and internal factors in order to increase incoming targeted traffic and determine ways to bring the site to the top position of search results. Given the actual task is to study the field of popularization of internet resources with the aim of their popularization using external ranking factors. The analysis of research showed that there is a direct relationship between the position of the site in search engine rankings and the number of visitors, as you can see on the poster. During research, many works were studied which helped to show the presence of a significant amount of research based on internet factors of promotion, and namely the rules of building a semantic core, design features, and so on. With regard to external factors, this area not studied enough because most of the mechanisms that regulate it work in accordance with patented approaches. The aim of the study is to design and construct a system for promoting internet resources using external ranking factors. It is necessary to analyze both the relevance of the pages, determines the degree of compliance of the information on search query, and ways of ranking links, determined by the number of links from other resources to the pages of the study's internet resource. Improving positions according to this criteria is the main goal of search engine optimization and will help the later to get into the top search engine results. Analysis of the commercial internet resources development on the World Web has shown that today always every company faces a problem how to promote the product. And for each situation, the set of technologies and tools can be radically different. Namely, some companies can use the tools and develop successfully, others can use the same tools and have only losers. The peculiarities of external search engine optimization are increasing the citation index depends of external search engine optimization on the volume and importance of web resources that point to the web pages and helps to raise the relevance of the site in terms of search engines. Increase the weight of the resource pages, which determines its popularity and authority as a source of information. The weight increases due to incoming links and decreases due to outgoing. And the formation of an anchor list contains the list of all links leading to the page. For successful external optimization is of great importance is the quality of links. The values of these parameters vary depending on individual resource. So in order to form a universal approach to promotion, an algorithm to promote internet resource using external ranking factors was formed, which was presented using the apparatus of algebra algorithms. The first stage in the implementation of the algebra algorithms is the description of unit terms and the synthesis of sequences. As a result of using the apparatus of algebra algorithms, the following sequences were synthesized and presented on the slide. Using the properties of the algebra algorithms, we make common unit terms for use sign of the elimination operation, resulting in a formula describing the algorithm of operation. Given the above algorithm, the main stages of promotion are analysis of page load speed, analysis of the link environment of the resource, external links, audit of the mobile version of the resource analysis using BM25 and BERT algorithms. As can be seen from the study, conducting these operations for manual analysis of the state of the internet resources and ways of its search, engine optimization is extremely time-consuming. Given the development of the prototype system, in addition to analyzing the resource and reflecting its main characteristic, will provide recommendation for optimization using external ranking factors. The next step is in the study. It was design a system using an object-oriented approach. At the beginning of the design, a diagram of use cases is created, which is shown on Fig 1. In order to show the interaction of the objects ordered by the time of the appearance, the sequence diagram shown in Fig 2 was used so as to describe the basic procedures and business processes. A diagram of the activity presented on Fig 3 was constructed. It reflects the dynamic aspects of system behavior and helps to describe the features of construction using direct and inverse design methods. The main purpose of the development system is to determine the polarization indicators of the internet resource, provide recommendations for promotion, determine the overall strategy of promotion, and accordingly obtain the desired results regarding the placement of the site in the top search results. Based on the analysis, the main functions of the system were identified is creating a project, analysis of internet resource of competitors, analysis of page load speed. Page load speed affects the conversion of the internet resources, generating keywords, creating a link environment. Other functions are estimation of the cost of the resource promotion, selection of relevant pages, generation of text links, search for broken links, links that lead to a non-existent resource, monitoring of the internet resource. The next stage of the study was the choice of means of implementing the system of popularization of the internet resource using external ranking factors. The developed promotion service is divided into client and server part. The Angular framework was used to write the client part, which is based on the graphical user interface, and the server part was written using ASP.NET Core Web API technology, the main window of which is presented on Fig 4. The user has the opportunity to analyze the internet resource by various indicators, entering the URL in the appreciated field. In figure 5, the author's resource, HTTP photo UA, was chosen for the analysis. The main functionality of the intelligent information system for popularization of the resource includes implementation of SEO promotion and providing recommendations for improving the structure of the internet resource. To start an SEO campaign, you need to create a new project by logging on or pre-registering with the system. After successfully logging in, on the project tab, select add new project. The process of creating a new project is divided into several stages. First, the user needs to enter basic information about the resource, the region of promotion, select the source of links and the main search engine. Next is transition to the further stage, the selection of keywords for which the site will be displayed in the relevant search engine. Information system generates a list of possible keywords according to the theme of the site. The next step is to select the relevant pages of keywords. The system automatically generates a relevant page for the keyword selected in the previous step, the subject of which best corresponds to a particular word. Figure 8. This allows the user to make adjustments to the generated relevant pages. After successfully completing all the steps above, the user has the opportunity to run the project for promotion. After the analysis, the window will display recommendations for improving the efficiency and optimization of the page. Following these recommendations will allow the internet resource to rise in search results using optimization factors. And as a conclusion, the article shows that there is a relationship between the position of the site in the search engine rankings and the number of visitors, namely the resources that occupy the top position in the search engine ranking receive the highest level of conversion. Further work was aimed at developing an algorithm for popularizing internet resources using external ranking factors, which was reflected using the algebra of algorithms and optimized by the number of unit terms. The next step in the study was to design a system using an object-oriented approach. The system was designed using Angular for the client part and SPNet Core Web API for the server part. And the developed prototype of the universal information system provides tools for analysis and promotion of internet resources using external ranking factors, provides flexibility in creating projects and setting up a notification system. Further research will be aimed at creating related software modules to expand the functionality and test their work. Saying thanks for your attention.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Participants, you are invited to the discussion. Okay, when we have time after our session, so we may engage in discussion. So maybe the questions will emerge a bit later. Okay, and now it's my pleasure to invite the next team of researchers. Nataliya Bondarchuk, Bekhta, Oksana, Melnychuk, and Olha Matviienkiv. Keyword-based study of Semitic vocabulary in British weather news.
Good afternoon, dear participants, honorable participants of the conference, let me present the results of the study, keyword-based study of thematic vocabulary in British weather news, carried out by the group of scholars Nataliya Bondarchuk, Bekhta, Oksana Melnychuk, and Olha Matviienkiv. The survey centers on the examination of keywords and related themes, representing weather in 4 daily British online newspapers: The Times, The Guardian, The Daily Mail, The Sun, between 2014 and 2017. It doesn't go. So the objectives of the research are the following: to expose frequently occurring words, keywords in the groups, to categorize them into groups according to relevant themes in the text, to identify the quantitative content of each lexical thematic group, as well as to determine dominant themes of weather news. Despite the necessity of keyword research, thematic and quantitative analysis provides deeper insight into text-specific weather-related vocabulary and its textualizing role. The obtained results highlight the link between a theme and a lexical level of the text, providing the efficiency of keyword analysis in the research. This paper represents an interdisciplinary approach that incorporates linguistic and computer-based statistical techniques to the analysis of weather-related vocabulary to define dominant themes that are specific to weather news of British press, thus offering prospects for a better understanding of its contextualizing and textualizing role. Keyword analysis is a widely used method in various sciences and fields, in particular in corpus linguistics. Keywords extraction is an optimal way while clustering, classifying, indexing, and visualizing texts of different discourses, genres, and text types. Okay. The procedure of our analysis involved 3 procedural steps: corpus completion, keyword analysis, thematic and quantitative analysis. The data used in the study is the corpus of weather news selected from British online daily newspapers between 2014 and 2017 from The Times, The Guardian, The Daily Mail, The Sun, which consists of 746,324 words taken from 180 newspaper articles. While compiling a corpus, the following criteria were considered. Firstly, the time frame of 4 years to represent recent use of the related themes. Secondly, open access articles to be easily downloaded. And finally, the text from The Guardian UK, the Daily Mail UK, The Sun UK, The Times UK were selected by using the search term weather. The dataset was made in a text file txt and later imported to the WordSmith software. So our next step was to extract keywords using WordSmith tools. For this reason, the British National Corpus was chosen as a suitable reference corpus, since all data are specific to British English. Consequently, we constructed 2 word frequency lists with the help of word list tool, of a target corpus of weather text and of a reference corpus BNC, and generated a keyword list. We have taken into account both statistically significant positive high frequency and negative, usually low frequency keyword items using log likelihood radio. The analysis was also restricted to content words only, which we defined to be directly related to the identification of the theme. Function words cannot demonstrate the link of lexical units and themes. Having compared 2 word frequency lists, we have obtained a computed list of keywords presented on the table. The list of keywords was limited to 300 words. The presented list in the table provides only first 45 keywords and their frequencies, as they will be further investigated during their thematic grouping. Our last step was to group the keywords into lexical thematic groups. Two problematic issues that arose during these steps were that of how to group, firstly, the words that could fit in multiple thematic groups, and secondly, the words that do not fit into any of them. We applied systematic hierarchical decision-making procedure and critical analysis to solve this issue. If a word could fit into several thematic groups, it was categorized into each of them. And if a word didn't have appropriate thematic group to the categorized, it was left out. As a result, the following groups were organized: weather extremes, climate, weather and people, weather and nature, weather phenomena. In this step, quantitative analysis was also used to further explore and identify dominant and prevalent themes of weather news by finding quantitative content of each thematic group. The first thematic group, weather extremes, consists of key lexical units that denote weather catastrophes. The results are presented in the table. The total number of key lexical units forming these groups is 111. The second thematic group, climate, is composed of the words denoting results and consequences of climate problems, their relation and impact on weather conditions. The next table presents the words that form this thematic group. The keywords, the meaning of which thematically reflects the impact of weather conditions of people's comfortable living environment, their safety and health, were referred to the third thematic group, weather and people. The keywords which are included into this group are shown in the table 3. Thematic group weather and nature is characterized by the use of nominations of different species of plants and animals, as well as natural processes which are directly influenced by the weather. The following table shows the keywords that refer to this group. The fifth thematic group, weather phenomena, includes key lexical units denoting different weather phenomena and their manifestations. The lexical composition of this group is given in the table. Quantitative composition of each group is presented in the following pie chart diagram. While the analysis of individual keywords does not provide a consistent and exhaustive text analysis, the grouping into categories according to the themes they represent establishes a link between the lexical level of the text and its themes. A quantitative analysis of the keywords represented the weather allowed us to identify dominant thematic groups and therefore recognize the themes that prevail in words in use in British online press. Having analyzed the obtained data, we may conclude that the weather news has anthropocentric character, since dominant thematic group are weather extremes, weather and people. Thus, within the corpus of the research, two thematic lines can be outlined. The depiction of adverse weather conditions affecting people's daily life and depicting the effects of weather disaster on people and their environment. This survey paves the way for the development of more rigorous methodology for the analysis of relationship between keywords and other words in context. It would also be interesting to closely examine weather vocabularies through keywords extracted using either statistical tests or software packages and compare the results. The method presented in this research provides more options for further collocation analysis of weather-related vocabulary in weather news of British online press. Further scrutiny can be combined with a more interpretative approach to the analysis of the words in use in line with stylistic research. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. So we have no time for questions in this session, but we may proceed after rejoining. Okay.